think you have to accept.
Did it work?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Today, I am bringing on one of my clients, and she has actually been very inspirational to me because I have watched this girl do the work. And I can sit and talk about it all I want, but I want you to hear it from her, exactly from her. And I would love to welcome Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me. I'm so good. How are you?
I am very well. I'm very excited for other people to hear about your journey because I do think it's a journey of inspiration. And I have seen such a transformation in you from the day that you and I started working together till, if you don't mind me saying, last week when we met, I said to you, how are you doing? And you had tears in your eyes and said you were so excited for 2023.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that is so inspirational. And so we started back in May. So what I would love for you to do is take a few moments and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Sure. Thank you so much. My name is Stephanie Hartung. I am 35 years old, just turned 35 this year. I am a wife. My husband and I have been together for 13 years, married for 8. We moved out here in Phoenix 8 years ago, and we have a beautiful, bright, wonderful little girl who's 5 years old. And we're living, like I said, currently here in Phoenix. We moved from Wisconsin 8 years ago, and we live here with our 3 cats. So we are doing that. I am currently working as a youth run club coach, and I am working on my fitness instructor certification so I can become a fitness instructor right now. And I'm a stay-at-home mom as well, homeschooling my little one. So I'm wearing a lot of different hats right now.
And I can attest to that. You do. And I do know you have some more, even bigger goals coming in the future.
Yes.
So I know there'll be more hats being worn.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into that too a little bit. But yes, yeah.
So we started working together back in May.
Yeah.
You had contacted me and we started talking. So why don't you talk a little bit, if you don't mind, telling me where you were at that space when you and I first started to have our conversations and working together, and talk about how you were feeling, where you felt stuck and things like that.
Yeah, most definitely. May. May was a rough time. May prior, I would say, was a very rough time. And I would say that I probably went through a rough time for years. I hate to even admit that, but I did. Moving out here 8 years ago was awesome. It was a journey. But within that 8 years, I kind of lost myself, to be honest. I lost my sparkle in life. I lost my drive. So many things happened to me that it was just, life hit me so much so fast. I didn't even know where to begin. I got married, moved to a whole new place, had a baby. I'm running by the seat of my pants, to be honest. I am, becoming a new mom, just navigating that in itself, that with your relationship with, your significant other, that takes a toll. So I was just trying to learn to be a new mom in a new space by myself. I felt like I was navigating motherhood by myself. My husband works, so I stay at home with our little one. And like I said, it took a toll on our marriage. It took a toll on my mental health, trying to find even a community. I had to find a whole new community, I felt like. And that in itself is so scary. And I left a whole community of friends and family that I had, and I just had to make this whole new life up of myself. And everything just became overwhelming for me. And in a certain point by May, it was depression, I would say. I just became depressed. I didn't even know where to start. I just knew I needed a schedule, a routine. My marriage needed to change. I wanted to be a better mom. Things were just so painful for me. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't know where to begin. And it was scary for me because all I want to do is be a wonderful mother and a wonderful wife and the best version of myself. So it was hard. May was a very, very, very tough time.
So what made you decide to take this step?
I just knew that I needed a change. I needed to invest in myself because if mama is not right and I'm not investing in myself, nothing, how is anything else going to be right for me? So I knew it was a time for a change. And that in order to do that, it was time to invest in myself and make the changes and put in some, just dig my heels in and do some extra hard work.
So you said yes to working with me.
I did. I did.
How did you feel when you said yes and we started to do our work?
I'm not going to lie. I was definitely nervous. I was very nervous. It's not something I had ever done before. I mean, I've read self-help books, you know, when you try to think of your typical, I need to help myself. I was like, oh, I've heard motivational speaking, but that's not exactly what I needed. I did need help in another way. And so, but I needed help that scared me, if you know what I mean. Things that scare you push you beyond growth. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly what I needed because I needed help. I didn't need just a Band-Aid. I needed something that really was going to help me in my life. So it was very scary. I'm not going to lie, for me to say yes, but I'm so more than thankful and happy and grateful that I did.
I think one of the questions I would love to ask you, because we were chatting a little bit before we started this, you said one of the things that really you were not nervous about, but we were apprehensive about was when I gave you, in quotations, homework.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I get overwhelmed, I would say. And I think maybe many women or many people can maybe attest or understand this is I don't like homework. I don't like extra things added to my plate. I already feel like I'm overwhelmed or I'm busy and I can't add any more in my day. But honestly, what it comes down to is managing my time. I do have the time, but where do I want to focus it on? You know what I mean? And it really made me think about that and take a second and say, what are my priorities? What do I want to incorporate in my life? And even though it was scary, I'm really happy that I did. So
do you feel you also, I had two thoughts hit me at once. So do you feel any of the homework, I want people to understand that there is homework, but it's a mutual agreement within the homework. Did you
yes,
feel that you had a say in what your homework was?
most definitely. I felt like the way that you were able to work with Michelle, it was exactly what I needed. You listened to me and you helped me find the areas that I needed to work on. And it was all on my basis. It was nothing pushed me in ways that I didn't want to do things. It was all getting me to do things that was the most benefit for myself. And now that I've incorporated things, like I've learned journaling is very healthy for me. And it was something I really, really, really did not want to do. I'm not going to lie. Journaling is very tough for me. And I think it can be tough for a lot of people to put our thoughts down and to be vulnerable or scared that maybe somebody might read it. Because I remember as a child, I didn't like to journal because I remember one point in particular, I was journaling and then my parents had found my journal and I wrote something in it that they just were concerned about. And it just changed my life from that point of never wanting to journal again because I felt my privacy was, it was, taken, and I didn't like that. And it made me never want to journal again. But you brought that out in me and how important journaling is and where my thoughts and where my mind is and certain questions to ask myself. It was very eye-opening and wonderful. And even though it was tough and I fought it and I didn't want to do it, the more I opened myself up to that, the more wonderful things were happening in my life because I was being vulnerable on paper with it and putting myself out there and finding where I was at with things. So it was a struggle. I can say, I don't like homework, but the homework was, it's on my time. I'm not pushed to do it, but it's also needed and it was for the best.
So you talked a little bit about being overwhelmed about a lot going on, your depression. And as we continue to work, how do you think, how soon do you think you started to feel some changes within your life?
Almost, I don't want to say like, I mean, it's immediate, but like it was within the first couple times, just talking, me doing the work. It was honestly what I really liked most about working with you, Miss Michelle, is just keeping me accountable. I had somebody to keep me accountable. If I do the work by myself, sometimes I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'll push that off. I'm not going to do that. But when I have somebody keeping me accountable, I most definitely don't want to let somebody down. I want to, I'm a hard worker and I do the work. And so it's great having that, because if I'm having a coach, it's keeping me, you're checking in with me. How are you doing? And even times when I was doing bad, I'm able to check in with you saying, hey, I'm having a hard day today, or what's going on? I need to get back on track. Help me get back on track. And that's what was really wonderful about it. It wasn't me just doing it by myself. I had a coach helping me. I didn't need to do it by myself. You know what I mean? And that was what was wonderful, is I'm not in this alone.
Yes.
I have support and I have help. So
awesome. And just for everybody else listening out there, we did start on a weekly basis. We did meet week to week to week. And as you became stronger, clearer in what you wanted to try some things on your own, building some conversations, trying different things within your health and fitness, that we did move to every other week.
yes.
Because you were becoming stronger and understanding yourself more. And then we are now on to a monthly check-in.
Yes.
I just wanted people to understand our path a little bit.
And it was a process, it was a process. And now that I am getting better. I remember the first couple times I was crying, I was emotional, I was sad, and it's okay to be that. And sometimes I still can be. It's not that I'm, perfect now, but it just means I'm able to take more control of my life. No, I'm the master of my own ship and I'm in control. And that when you do need help, there are people out there to help you, and you can reach out, and it helps you reach your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, and helps you live your best life. So it was a process, but it was needed, and I love it. And I love being able to talk to you and get together and check in, and it's been wonderful.
So what would you say to the women, men, whomever out there that hear people talk about, so my expertise is life and clarity coaching, and they might be like, yeah, what would you say to them about hiring a coach for themselves? Somebody that you are like, I'm not sure this is something I want to invest in myself in.
Exactly. Yes. I would say, honestly, if you're scared, do it. If you're scared, that might just be the right reason to go for it, because what's scary pushes you out of that comfort zone. And if you are looking for a breakthrough and a change, a coach is exactly what you need. A coach is there to help you. That's what coaches do. They're there to guide you, to help you, to push you, to motivate you, to pick you up when you fall. A coach helps you. And if you're scared, you don't need to do it alone. So jump right in. What do you have to lose to invest in yourself? Investing in yourself, you will never lose. I mean, that's the best thing that you can do, because it helps you and the people around you being the best version of yourself. So if you're scared, don't be, just jump in. If you're scared, and just do it even if you are scared, because you know what, you have nothing to lose.
Thank you. And so we worked on a week-to-week programs, and you have heard me and understand I do have different types of programs. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that we did do was we spent our first two weeks just digging deep into what you needed.
Yes.
Worked for you and I, we worked on the Wheel of Life.
Yes.
And then I asked you a series of questions. And then from there, we kind of pulled the onion away on that. And so for you, that's the type that worked, correct? Because you were a little bit more overwhelmed. You, as you stated in the beginning, you were overwhelmed.
Mhm.
You wanted a change. But I think people need to understand where you wanted me to go is not where we went.
Yeah, I'm a very type of person where I'm at the finish line before I even start. And I never realized that about myself. I'm always like, okay, I know what it takes to get to the finish line, but I don't even start because I'm so worried about the finish line. And so I need to backtrack a little bit because I don't get to the finish line. And in order to get there, I need to do the steps and the work, and I need to think about it. So
That was some of it. And some of it was you really wanted to, if you remember, if you don't mind me speaking out of turn, in
oh
the
no,
beginning, you wanted to concentrate on getting fit because
yes,
you felt if getting fit would remove you from the depression.
it did. And I honestly, yes,
And
I'm glad you
that
touched.
is what we concentrated on a little bit, but we had to dig into the depression.
We did. We had to dig deep into my depression and where that was coming from and where I could get maybe some me time, not be so exhausted, fill my cup as a person. And I found out with that, just journaling, peeling back those layers a little bit and asking myself some, you asking me some really personal, tough questions and digging into myself. Working out was something that I thought that I need. I've always been a workout person, but or just sports, but with life getting older, I don't always do that. But we realized that was something that was really beneficial to my life. And I started incorporating that little by little into my life, becoming a habit, a routine for me. And then I started noticing changes in myself, just making that small change. And I loved working out. And it was so beneficial to my mental health and my physical well-being that I was taking my daughter to the gym. She's seeing how strong mommy's being. I'm all of a sudden exuding healthy habits in front of her. She's telling me what's healthy, what's not. And I'm like, yes, mama's on a great path, that I know moms can resonate with because that's what it's so important. And so I'm doing healthy habits in front of her. I'm showing her, I'm paving way. A good leader leads by example. And with that, I became a run club coach. I got out of my comfort zone and I started coaching youth, kids anywhere from age 4 to 12. And I teach them on Saturdays and we do running drills and I teach them empowerment. It's something that has really filled my cup. I was scared to do it and I almost quit. Michelle and I talked about that. I almost quit. And now I have returning kids and they love me, and all the parents, I've had enriched relationships with them. And I feel like I'm a great coach myself. And also because I love working out now, I've gotten my fitness instructor certification and I'm working on getting my own routine. So now that I can teach classes. And so it's really improved my life and it's something that I really enjoy. It's something that I'm teaching my daughter healthy habits. It is improving my life, filling my cup, my relationships. And now not only that, we're moving back home. I'm realizing certain things in my life that we moved out here to Phoenix, but now we're Airbnb-ing my home. More to my cup and my plate, which is totally fine, but I got this. We are moving back home to Illinois, Wisconsin, our hometown, Illinois, Wisconsin area. And yeah, so we already rent one home. So it's just kind of what we do. I'm renting homes and businesses, Airbnb, and yeah, just adding a little bit more, but I'm excited. And I wouldn't have been able to do that. I feel like the path I was at in May, to see my transformation, where I was at May to where I'm at now. I'm so thankful and grateful and happy. And I feel transformed.
You put in the work.
I
want to make sure this is perfectly clear out here that I love what I do. I love pushing and getting you a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
But you put the work in.
Yes.
And that is very important. And when you were resistant, let's be honest here, and every session was like, yep, I did what I was supposed to. When there was resistance, we peeled that onion back.
Yes.
And so we found another limiting belief, another barrier to break down that because you didn't even realize that it was blocking you.
Yes.
And so I think what happened was now you have tools that when you feel a barrier or you are like, nope, you're like, well,
Mhm.
you have this alarm system that goes off and you're
Exactly.
able to journal through it and
Exactly.
steps to get through it. And we
Yes.
work now on a monthly basis, so to help you continue down your path.
Yes, most definitely. Honestly, you've given me so many tools that help me with any roadblocks that I have. Really, I think that's what it is sometimes we roadblock ourselves and don't know what's roadblocking us. So peeling back those layers and asking those questions really makes you dig down deep and figure out what's going on. And I needed that, but it was me putting in the work 100%. But with your coaching and your help along the way, you help give me the tools that I need to get over these hurdles and really just live my best life and get the things that I want out of the life. And that's so important. It is, you do the work, we do the work, but you're here to coach, and it's amazing, and give us the tools that we need and ask us the questions that get us to where we want to go.
Well, Stephanie, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day. Any closing comments?
I would just, Michelle is amazing. I can't even, she really is. She's an amazing coach, and I can't thank her enough for taking the time and helping me transform my life. And if you are on the fence, just go all in. Do it. This is your year, 2023. Just do it and give Michelle a chance. She's awesome. I wish everybody amazingness on their journey, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. And to everybody else out there, thank you for taking the time to watch this. Please DM me with any questions, any thoughts. I do have a free either 15-minute or 30-minute, what I call a discovery call, because I want to make sure that we are in sync with each other. And I want to be able to bring you into clarity that you have the life and have the life and are able to achieve your goals. Have an amazing day. Let me stop.